A lot of emphasis on Apple Intelligence being a driver for iPhone 16 in the future. I think you and I had some doubts about that, right?
Apple knows that artificial intelligence, Apple Intelligence, as they call their suite of AI services, are the buzzwords that gets Wall Street going, right? For the past several quarters, Apple, even before announcing it, had been teasing its new AI features because it knew the market, it knew Wall Street analysts were wanting this. It knew some consumers were wanting this. And so they focused a great deal of the call yesterday, Tim Cook in particular, as well as basically every analyst who asked the question, talking about Apple Intelligence. In my view, I think that Apple Intelligence, at least this year, is still very nascent, and I don't believe it will, or quite frankly, should drive iPhone upgrades this September. I think that's more of a next September and iPhone 17 cycle thing once all of the features are available and we're a year out from that release when more people are looking to upgrade.
Greater China was a focus where there was a 6% decline in sales, but Apple told us about the impact of FX, and that on a constant currency basis, it would have been a 3% decline. See past that mark, what were the product stories for Apple in China?
Well, first of all, there was a time when Apple was growing at such a big rate that they didn't need to get into FX, currency headwinds, or anything like that. They didn't have to contextualize these numbers to explain that they're better than they actually look on paper. But that's one thing. But the other thing to note is that they're doing better in China in the second half of the year so far than they were doing in the first half of the year, according to them. So you're seeing a bit of an acceleration for them. And that is coming at a particularly good time, given that this iPhone upgrade cycle is approaching at the tail end of this quarter. So they're going into that with a bit of momentum. And that's certainly positive news for them. So it's not all bad. I mean, if you look at the quarter in general and you look at the stock market today, it's clear why Apple's in the green and almost everyone else in the NASDAQ 100 is in the red. They beat Wall Street expectations. They grew revenue 5%. They returned to revenue growth after declining last quarter. And they beat on analyst forecasts for each of their major product categories plus services. So overall, pretty good day for the company.